Mr. Chris Jones, head guru, head cheese, main cheese.
We exist to make life for those we serve better.
How many miles of line?
15,000 miles.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I sell a lot of electricity, 8.8 billion kilowatt hours.
That's so many hours.
I know. We don't charge people for any more than they use.
Yeah, I got that. He's like, yeah, this is them going up the pole. And I was like, good God, it looks like a squirrel.
Yeah, I saw the first Die Hard. I didn't know there was a fourth one.
There's like 6. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. We got a great guest today, and actually I want to thank you for coming in today because we had a blurb this morning because my voice, we went to the AC/DC concert last night. We were just talking about that, and so thankfully my voice is holding up, and I appreciate you working with me on this.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Jones. What's your full title over at MTE?
So, John, my title is President and CEO.
Okay.
Yes.
Head guru. Head cheese, main cheese. What is it? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with it. So, but over at MTE, yes, thank you. Well, first off, thank you for what you guys do for the community. I mean, you are MTE, Middle Tennessee Electric. I mean, you're kind of the backbone of the community.
Well, we have a great team that does a great job.
You
John.
definitely have a great team. Well, Kyle and I were talking about that right before you got here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many people work for MTE? How many employees?
So right now we have about, in terms of full-time employees on the electric side, and the reason I'm saying that way, about 550. And then we have contract employees as well that help us out. It can be varying, like we have electric construction contractors, like you'll see maybe Service Electric Trucks or Groves Electric Trucks out there. They work with us, for us. And then we have a fiber broadband company too, United Communications.
That's right, yeah.
So we got 200 people who work for United. But as far as the MTE full-timers, about 550.
Jeez, okay. And we've run into quite a few of them. Actually, I almost stopped this morning on the way in because I passed one of your trucks. They were doing some work on the lines. I was going to take a picture of them. But every single person we've run into has been incredibly nice, very genuine, and seems to really care, not only about what they do, but about the community. Yeah. And so... And again, thank you to shout out to Chase out there. He's been real helpful with us on that. But
he's a great one.
And Keith too as well. But they all seem to care. They all love their job.
Yeah,
so you guys really have created a very huge family.
Well, we try to, John. I mean, we talk about that a lot. How that, and for folks who might be thinking about coming to MTE, coming in as we're hiring people, we talk about, how that we are a service organization, and so if you can't think of yourself as a servant, then MTE is probably not a place for you because we need people who are good at what they do and who are hungry, but we need people who are humble in what they do.
I got you.
And so we really instill that and talk about that a lot. And we say that if we're going to be the best version of ourselves that we can be for our members, then we need to be and think of ourselves as servants. And certainly that starts with me. So we try to hire people who have that mindset and personality and encourage that as they grow.
Well, how do you find 500 of them? I mean, and you're steady growing too. So I mean,
there are a lot of them out there, I think, and certainly I think that people we're seen as a desirable place to work. I mean, like you said, I think we're seen as one of the backbones of the community because it's kind of hard to imagine modern life without electricity.
That would be a little tough.
And we talk about how that. And we don't shy away from this. We feel like we're the most important institution in the community.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that, the importance of electricity. So we kind of shoulder that responsibility. We don't trumpet it, but I think that feeds into that humble attitude that you're seeing. And I'm glad that's music to my ears that you see that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like when we went out and we caught Chase and those guys they were putting up some poles in that Rockville community that you're all doing out there. And but the whole team, everybody was, yes, sir, no, sir. I mean, but to everybody, it was Jen and I left, we were kind of joking. We're like, well, who was in charge there? Because everybody was yes, sir, no, sir. And they were to each person, and they were very polite and helping out and all that. I was like, I'm just going to run with Chase because I know Chase. But no, it was really cool to see that. And also to see how watching these guys go up on these lifts and you all are putting in this new pole and how you do it with the existing wires, and they're just doing it like it's nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, watch out. nothing. It's like nothing to them.
They're so good at what they do.
Yeah.
And, and one thing I want to thank you for real quick. Many things I want to thank you for, what you do for the community, but also we've had lots of questions too on why are all those poles out there on the Williamson family farm. And
Yes.
so thank
Oh my
you for
gosh.
doing that piece on that. That's helping people understand what we're doing out there, and we're excited about that. But, we were talking earlier about the storms that came through the other night, and another piece of this that I want to point to for what you're seeing is that whenever the lights go out and our guys get the call that we need to get out there and get to work, that's just how they're wired. They get charged up and fired up, and part of it's because they enjoy what they're doing, but they care about their. I mean, this is home for them.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
I mean, they want to get their neighbors and their friends' lights back on.
Yeah, right.
So there's a motivation to that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, and like you were saying, the community they care. I keep referring back to Chase because I know Chase, but he found out that Jen's oldest was he's getting into the trades. He just graduated high school, and so Chase was like, "Well, hey, tell him to come on out and talk to me." And like the Lineman Rodeo coming up and the trucks and all that. And he's like, "I'll show him around the trucks. We can maybe show him a few things. Maybe we can start." I was like no hesitation. He's like, "Oh, he's getting in the trades. Cool. Come talk to me. I will help him out." And
Yes.
I was like, what a cool guy.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, that was
and
awesome.
we're talking about Chase Patterson, who's one of
Chase Patterson,
of
yes.
our journeyman linemen, and does a wonderful job. He was going to be competing in the rodeo. He hurt himself a bit, so won't be able to. But he's very instrumental in the plans for the rodeo. And I know we'll talk rodeo later, but that's a public event, and we hope we get a lot of people come out and see what's going on.
Yeah. And shout out to all the MTE guys out there. I'm sorry, I just know Chase personally, so I'm using him so thank you, Chase, for letting me use you there. But before we get into that, if you don't mind, I want to back it up a little bit. So let's learn a little bit about you. So are you from Murfreesboro? Where are you from?
I am originally from Manchester, so just down the road.
Okay.
I'm a Middle Tennessee guy. I grew up here. I did go to school in Knoxville.
Okay.
I started at Motlow and went to Knoxville, and so I've essentially been in Middle Tennessee all my life. So, consider myself very much a local guy. And I've been living in Murfreesboro now for 25 years. I've been at MTE for 26 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and I've been privileged to, number one, to come to MTE, but then to be in the position I'm in for now 13 years, which doesn't seem possible, but I'm honored to do it.
Dang. Okay. So you've seen not only MTE, but Middle Tennessee in general just blossom over the years. So
I mean, you're growing up here. I mean, so you think about I won't say what year I was born, but it's been, when I
82.
There we go. Well, let's start in the very early '80s when Nissan comes to Rutherford County.
Okay, yeah.
That changed everything.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it just sprung from there. So since that time, but especially over the last 30 years, we have seen incredible growth, as you know, in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. So has that translated to you guys? Like all of a sudden, like we've seen Rutherford County do this exponential growth. So is that kind of leading to you guys too? Like all of a sudden you're going just taking off. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
When you think about the area that we serve Williamson, Rutherford, Wilson, and Cannon counties. We bleed over into some of the neighboring counties, but essentially that's the service territory. And Williamson, Rutherford, Wilson have been 3 of the 5 fastest growing counties in Tennessee for the last 30 years.
Oh, 30 years?
Yes.
I knew the past 5 to 10, but 30?
Absolutely.
Oh,
and you think about, Middle Tennessee is one of the fastest growing areas in the country.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then we have grown right along with the area. So we the infrastructure has to be there, but we make sure that we can keep up with that growth, and we're kind of used to it. It's, we share notes with other electric utilities around the country. Not everybody's growing like we are or have, and it's just become something we're accustomed to.
I got it. So is that just over time? Where did MTE start originally? Was it in Rutherford County?
So the history is very interesting.
Okay.
We are born essentially, and there's some details to it, but essentially we are born of a need that was identified and then furthered by local homeowners and farmers.
Okay.
Because in the 1930s in our area, and you Rutherford, Wilson, Williamson, Cannon, electricity wasn't readily available. Mm-hmm. It was available in the cities, especially in Nashville, but for the rural areas, it was just not deemed feasible. So homeowners and farmers banded together and formed electric co-ops.
Okay.
That was the same time as Roosevelt's New Deal. So money became available through what was called the Rural Electrification Administration.
Okay.
TVA was created around that same time. So we're talking 1930s, a lot going on. But essentially, those farmers and homeowners banded together and made Middle Tennessee Electric.
Okay.
They said, we're going to make a not-for-profit co-op. We're going to build an electric system to serve us, get our power from TVA. And that's the origin story of MTE. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born out of a need, and there you go. But since 1930, you said?
Yeah, so 1936, May 11th, 1936 was the birthday of Middle Tennessee Electric.
Hey, okay.
So next year will be our 90th anniversary.
Are you going to do a big blowout for 90?
We'll have to have you come and help us out with that.
You have to for 100. That's a given. I mean,
we'll do 92, absolutely.
Heck
so,
yeah, that's 90 years. My goodness gracious. Yeah. And so do you see, like, as you've gone into other counties, do you, like, especially how it's growing now, do you see going into more counties? Or how does that work? Exactly?
Well, on the electric system side, the service area is pretty well defined.
Okay.
Now there are just a few examples, and I'll use Spring Hill as an example. So Spring Hill is basically on the border of Williamson and Murray counties, and so there are actually 3 electric utilities that come together out there. It's us, Duck River, and then Columbia Power Water.
Got it.
So there are occasions right now where a development is happening near our borders, and we have to get together with those utilities and say, who does it make the most sense to serve?
Okay.
But those are just a few examples. Typically, the service territory is very well defined. So from the electric system standpoint, we're not looking to and not able to really expand beyond our borders.
Okay. Well, you have what, 300,000 plus
Yeah,
people?
350,000 accounts. Now, that translates into about 750,000 plus people.
Gosh. Okay.
When you think about,
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay. Your homes and businesses and whatnot. And holy cow. Well, how about, I apologize, kind of switching gears a little bit, but the United side, how does that, is that just grow with you guys, or does that also, is that grow, because that's fiber internet, right?
Fiber broadband. And it is different. It's United is actually a for-profit company. You know, MTE is a not-for-profit co-op. That's how we were designed, how we are now, how we intend to continue, owned by our members. So the United story is interesting. And let me spend just a bit of time here, John.
Yeah, sure.
You cut me off if you need to. But I remember 20 years ago getting phone calls from members to say, "Hey, I live in rural." Whatever, Rutherford County, Williamson County, 5 miles outside the city, and I cannot get internet. Can you do anything to help me? And we couldn't. We were not enabled by state law to enter into the broadband business. So that changed about 7 years ago, 7 years ago. I forget the exact date. Okay. But we worked with state legislature and a number of our existing state legislators and Governor Haslam at the time to change state law to allow electric co-ops to step into the broadband business space. Okay. When that happened, we had a choice to make. Do we build a business from scratch, or are there others out there we can partner with? And United for us was in our backyard. They were in Williamson County. They had been a kind of a local telecommunications company since the 1940s. And so we started sharing notes with them. They had a couple of new owners who were building lots of fiber. You know, fiber is the way to go with regard to high-speed internet.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So they were doing good things. So we acquired United Communications, became the majority owner, and worked with that staff and have been building that business and expanding it ever since. So with the way state law was created and the way United operates, there are really no borders on United. Okay. So number one, we are leveraging that organization to make sure that we are serving every member across our cooperative who didn't have high-speed internet before. So we are right on the cusp of delivering high-speed internet to all of our rural members across our service. So compared to 5 years ago, we have delivered internet, high-speed internet. I mean, I'm talking about high-quality, high-speed internet to thousands of our members who didn't have it before. So it's kind of like the old electricity story. You know, people couldn't have it, so we had to the co-op stepped up to make it happen, and we're thankful for that. But United has done a wonderful job. The team there, William Bradford and his team, are doing great things. So, but with regard to the service territory of United, again, it's not defined. So we actually serve the MTE service territory. We go down into what is, from an electric standpoint, the Duck River electric service territory, which is south of where we are. Gotcha. You know, Murray, Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, those counties down further south. We actually serve into Davidson County as well. Okay. And so we're looking to expand that business because I think people are looking for a local, reliable alternative when it comes to broadband services.
Yeah. You know, and I spoke to some of them at the ribbon cutting out in Franklin, and I thought it was pretty. When they were talking fiber, everybody hears fiber, and there's lots of fiber, suppliers out there. But all of a sudden, he said, "Yeah, our 8 gig fiber lines." I went, "You have an 8 gig fiber line?" He goes, "Yeah, that's pretty much what we're running." I was like, "Can you run that to our building, please?" Like, by the way, William, please run to our building. But he joked. He goes, "All right, where are you at?" And they didn't even think twice. They're like, "All right, we can send somebody out there to check and run it to your building." I was like, "Yes, please." Because, we have fiber here, but it's just gig fiber.
Right.
And then 8 gig fiber, like we would have no problem internet anything. Like when we live stream and all that stuff, shoot.
Right.
I was like, that's insane. And then he carried it and he said, "Yeah, we're going to provide that too." Because I was like, "Is that for businesses only, or is that whatever?" He goes, "No, homeowners can have that too." I was like, "Can you imagine having that amount of fiber at your house? You could run your entire house with no problem."
Absolutely.
And then I pulled it up on the website. I was like, "Your prices are equivalent or less than other competitors that I won't say." And I was like, "That's insane." So. Shout out United.
Yeah, and their customer service scores are through the roof. They're incredible. And one thing I want to clarify too, John, if I may, is that I mentioned that they're a for-profit company, but the way that we're operating the organization is that any profit we make, we're putting right back into the business so we can further expand that broadband network.
Yep,
so we're essentially operating it as a not-for-profit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it just seems like the perfect marriage between, because especially when you're laying new lines and stuff like that, it just kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Right.
One goes with the other. So awesome. Well, shout out United on that. So
yes, thank you.
Yeah, but back to MTE, so if you don't mind. But we got a little slideshow up here. You want to talk about some of these right here? We can talk about this first one here.
Yeah. So I thought it might be appropriate and good, John, to talk about rates because a lot of folks may be watching the podcast. We all get an electric bill, so and summer's coming.
Good.
So
AC bill.
So let's think about this for a minute. So I wanted to share this This information isn't real time. It's from 2024 data, which is the latest information that we have from what's called the Energy Information Administration. It's a federal organization that keeps track of energy stats and whatnot. Okay. But I wanted our members out there to know, and for you and others to know, that from a rate standpoint, Middle Tennessee Electric is incredibly competitive. And I want to mention that because I'm going to eventually talk about how to better, if you will allow me, how to better manage our electric bills.
Do it.
So one big chunk of that, one bucket of it, is the electric rate. Yeah. So when you look at this map here and you see around the country and the different shades, the lighter the shade, the lower the rate. Okay. And it's a per kilowatt hour rate.
Gotcha.
So we all use lots of kilowatt hours to power our homes or businesses. Yeah. So, but we start there with the per kilowatt hour rate. And you'll see that, it goes from almost 40 cents a kilowatt hour in places like California and Hawaii, very expensive.
Gotcha.
Down to the lighter shades here, which can be in the 11, 12%. Okay. The Tennessee average, very competitive at 13.7 cents. The national average is 17 cents, but you see the MTE rate is 10.62. And look at the scale up at the top. So we're kind of off the scale in terms of being inexpensive, if you will.
Okay.
So again, we compare very favorably. Now there are some utilities out there that are cheaper than that.
I got you.
But I want our members to know that we take affordability very, very seriously. Yeah. And we try to do good things in the community and have a up-to-date, technologically advanced, innovative system and approach. But we also do it being very careful stewards of our members' money. And I think this is a demonstration of that. You see, we're very competitive. Okay. So when we think about you and I as homeowners or business owners and managing our energy, there are 3 buckets to think about. One of them is the rate bucket. And I'm just going to say, rates aren't going to get any better.
I got you.
I mean, they're just not. They're comparatively, they're really good, but they're just not going to get any better. And the reason they're not is because energy costs are increasing, because generation costs are increasing. Yep. And we get all of our power from TVA, and I will talk more about TVA later.
Yep.
But 80 cents or more of every dollar that we bring in from bill payers goes back to TVA to pay for the power.
Okay, got it.
So we don't have a lot of margin to operate on, and our rates are very low. So that's one bucket. The other two are the energy efficiency or energy profile of your home or business.
Yep.
And then the third one is your energy usage habits, how you use electricity.
Yeah.
So let's just think about those kinds of things for a minute.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
it.
Got it.
So most of us, when we think about the energy profile or efficiency of our home, we probably don't know what it is. I mean, you probably know what the MPG of your vehicle is.
But I do actually.
I bet most people do know approximately what that is. Even if you have an EV, you probably know what kind of, if you will, miles per gallon you're getting. So and they vary. If you got a Hummer, it's probably 10 miles to the gallon.
That's about right.
And if you got a Prius, it's probably about 50. Something like that. So
Yeah.
and so you have an expectation. But what kind of efficiency does your home get? That's a question most people don't know and maybe don't even think about too much, because we tend not to think about electricity until we get our bill at the end of the month. And we typically don't think about that unless it's a bill that comes in the summer or in the winter, because we're using a lot of electricity to cool or heat our home. So when we think about that, there are so many factors that go into your home with regard to its energy efficiency and its construction, its profile, its insulation, the windows, the type of heating air system you have. Yeah. So there are many things. And so I don't want to get too complicated with that, but one thing I'll say right off the bat, and I'll have our members out there know, is that we have team members who will come to your home for free and do an energy evaluation of your home. Okay. They will help you understand what the energy profile of your home is, and even make recommendations on how you can make your energy efficiency better. Yes, that's free service from your electric co-op. So take advantage of it. And they're busy, so it may take them a minute to get
but still,
it's a free service.
That's really cool.
But there are things you can think about and do yourself. If your heat and air system is over 15 years old,
I got you. Yep, I've heard that.
It's not going to be as efficient as the ones today. So there's things to think about there. But you can do simple things right now to prep for summer.
Okay.
And that is things like changing your air filter, making sure you're changing your air filter regularly in your heat system, caulk your windows, things like that. Those are simple, cheap things anybody can do. And have an impact. Okay. Now the third piece, that again, rates, energy profile, and then energy usage. Yeah. And here's where we leave a lot on the table, because we don't think about so much how we use electricity. And a comparison I like to make is we can use a vehicle comparison, how you drive. You can do jackrabbit starts and drive in the mountains all the time and go fast. That's one thing. But the other piece is when you think about an illustration I like to use is you go into your bathroom to brush your teeth. Okay, you flip the light on, you turn the water on, you brush your teeth. If you're good, you turn the water off as you're brushing your teeth.
Right.
Okay, but then when you leave the room, you turn the water off. You never leave the water running. Yeah. I mean, you maybe somebody does on accident, but you feel the pain of the water running. You don't want to waste water.
I got
But you're liable and apt maybe to slip out of the bathroom and leave the light going. And you're leaving the electricity running. Yeah. We think about don't leave the water running, but we need to think about not leaving the electricity running because we just waste a lot of electricity in modern life today. So that's a simple illustration, but do an energy inventory of your own energy usage habits, how you use electricity, and understand that every kilowatt hour you use, we don't charge people for any more than they use.
I got that.
But they use a lot, especially in the summertime. When you're trying to stay cool.
Yeah. Now, is there? This is probably a dumb question. I apologize, but for me, on my side, is being naive on this. Like, is there validity to some of those things? Like, well, they say like a smart home, and like those light bulbs you can get, and they're either Wi-Fi powered or they, if they don't detect motion for so long, they shut off and that sort of thing. But some of those get pretty expensive, but they say that over time it more than makes up for itself. Is that
They do.
They do?
They do.
All right.
Yeah, because again, that's a way for you to put technology to work for you, where you don't have to think about doing those things. It just does it for you. So especially smart thermostats. That's where the biggest bang for your buck.
I'm a
is
fan of
gonna be.
those. Yeah, I have one of those. So
Yeah.
yeah. When you're gone, it just boop. I love that, especially at night. Makes you comfy when you sleep. It's nice.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah.
We don't want people not to be comfortable.
That's right. You got to sleep.
But we want them to use the energy wisely. And again, it may be counterintuitive to say, well, you're in the business, quote unquote, of selling electricity, but you're encouraging people to use less. Yeah. But that's back to we're here to benefit our members.
Yeah.
And so we know that again we leave a lot of just opportunity on the table with regard to how we can save electricity.
I gotcha. All right, so those are the easy ones. I like the windows. I always hear about the windows, and so versus like you said, just caulk the windows versus like if you have to replace your windows or if they're that bad, you replace the windows.
Yeah, okay. And that's something our folks can help someone make a decision about. Again, just give us a call and we can talk through that. But yeah, generally speaking, caulking windows and door openings can help you save because you're trying to prevent the hot air from coming in, and then the air you're conditioning from escaping, and we can lose a lot. And also the ducting under or in our house that's under the floor or maybe in the attic areas. Oftentimes, an inspection will reveal that there are holes or creases or openings in that ducting, and that's a lot of air being wasted.
Oh, yeah, I bet. So is that like sealing off your crawl space and stuff so heat doesn't? Okay, all right, cool. Well, I got that. We got that one down. I got that. So, all right, cool. Well, let's go to the next slide here.
Okay.
I got boom.
Yeah, this just shows our service territory. Yeah. And again, you can see where in the darker gray areas we bleed over, for example, Murray County there.
Oh, yep. Yeah,
so not much, but primarily it's Williamson, Rutherford, Cannon, Wilson. There are parts of Rutherford County, west Rutherford County, and Laverne that we don't serve. We share that service territory with Nashville Electric.
Okay.
But that's essentially our service territory. Yeah. And the cities that are denoted there, we have offices in each of those communities. Okay. Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you know? It says covering 2,200 square miles. How many miles of line do you have?
Yeah, it's. I think it's where you got 15,000 miles.
Oh my God!
Really? Yeah. So you think about
15,000 miles,
and our guys are out there maintaining and building more, and then when the storms come, we're fixing those. So it's a lot to keep, and also to keeping the trees off of them, which is another subject.
I got you. So how many? I forgot how many miles is it from California to Florida? Isn't it like 3,000 miles?
I think something like that.
So you're back and forth 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
right.
Insane. That's very cool, though.
A lot of line out there, yes.
Hey, that's right. And you're burying the lines now, right? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, we love to bury the lines. Wherever we can, we do that. It's cost prohibitive to bury what we call main feeder lines, the lines that like the lines down Broad Street, for example.
Oh, yeah.
If you try to, let's say you're building new line and it's main feeder, higher voltage lines. It's 15 to 20 times more expensive to put those underground.
Really?
Yes. Okay. So there are times when we need to do that, or a city wants to do that, and we can. But then, like for a subdivision, we're always going to put those lines underground, and we want to. So we want to put as much underground as we can.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, I'll go to the next one here.
Sure. Okay. These are just some stats we talked about. For example, employees. We got more than 530, close to 550 now. Yeah. We sell a lot of electricity, 8.8 billion kilowatt hours of TVA generated electricity.
That's so many hours.
I know.
How many hours are in a year?
It is crazy. And we've talked about some of these stats already, John. So let me see if there's anything that I want to touch on that we haven't so much. But hey, I got the miles of line right. I thought it was 15,000.
Oh wow, you were almost dead on.
Very close. Yes,
you were 25 miles. That's pretty good. What about your? I see 24 plus member program.
Yeah, so all kinds of programs, and one of them would be the program we mentioned a while ago with our energy pros coming out to your home to do an energy audit of your house. Okay. But then there are several more, and all these are on our website. We encourage people to. So many times people just don't know that these services are on the table, and
Yep.
they're always free.
Yep.
So go to mte.com, do some exploration. There are programs around even ways you can pay your bill to make
Yeah.
it more convenient for you.
Yeah.
So we encourage people to think about that.
Okay.
I would highly recommend, for one, John, especially coming into summer, is that people think about either levelized or budget billing.
Okay.
Because, even if you have a good energy profile, you're going to use more electricity in the summertime. So if you want to kind of even out your bills,
Yeah.
that's a great way to do it. So you're not hit with one that maybe your budget's not ready for.
Okay. Well, I'm just throwing this one out here. We have a whole feature on this one coming up. We actually filmed this once. I didn't like how it turned out, so we're redoing it. But sharing change.
Yes. Oh,
That is a wonderful program you guys are doing that.
Yes.
We felt we need to bring attention to just that. And I'm convinced if everybody knew about that program, everybody would do it. Because it's not just rounding up, right? People can add more and things like that. But what you guys do, all right, can we touch on it real quick?
Oh, love
Okay.
to. Oh,
right.
and thank you for bringing it up
Yeah.
because it is something we're
one
very
of my
very
favorites.
proud.
I love
yeah,
it.
and I hope every member's proud of it because this is about the cooperative business model showing its worth because you're talking about just a few pennies from everybody that we bring together and we can make a big difference for the community.
Oh, yeah.
So typically the way to do it is just round your bill up, and all you got to do is call in and say, hey, I'd like to round my bill up, and that money is set aside to go to Sharing Change, and then 100% of that money goes to community causes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way that those are decided, by the way, and you can keep up with this, we have the information always transparently available, is that there is a separate board that's the Sharing Change Board. It is a 7-member board with representatives from every county. And that board gets together on a regular basis, and they evaluate grant requests that come in from not-for-profit, nonprofit organizations, and then they decide how to distribute that money.
Okay.
And so we have given away, $15 million or so over the last few years.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, and so again, I thank you for saying that, and I hope that maybe members who aren't doing that now will step up and do that because it's an easy way to do a good thing.
Yeah. Let's see if my math's right. I just thought of this off the top of my head. So let's just say every 350,000 members, roughly. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just say 350,000. If every bill ended up on a penny, 0.01, and they round it up, so every month they're donating 99 cents, people. It's $1. It's $12 a year. It's at $315,000 a month, roughly, that you're then turning around and giving back to the community through nonprofits to help out other people. I mean, that's
100%.
So $3.5 million, well, more than $3.5 million a year. That's insane. That's so cool that you guys do that, and it's all powered by you guys.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Sorry,
I
get me excited thinking about it.
Thank you. It gets me. Well, us too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the incredible potential, and of course, what we're doing is already good. But yeah, I would say that we have about 20% of our members who do that.
Yeah.
So like opportunity on the table. We'd love to have a lot more of our members to contribute to that.
Oh, yes, we definitely. Okay, you hear that, folks? We're gonna make a special. I'm taking this clip right here. And we're gonna make, I just love what you guys do with that. When Larry off camera over there, when you were talking to me about it, originally told me about it, I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. So very, very cool. But,
Yes.
So anyways, other programs, but I forgot. We got the rodeo coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, Lineman Rodeo. Tell us about that.
So excited about that. So it's called the Tennessee Valley Lineman Rodeo, and it's been around for many years, and it rotates to various locations every year. It's typically around this time of year when it's held, but this is a way for the skills of linemen to be showcased.
Yeah.
And so it's not a rodeo. The first question is always, well, I didn't know
I got
lineman rode horses. It's nothing to do with that. It's just that's just the name that it's always been called. It's a competition, and they put there are skills tests for the linemen to go through, and they may not know until the event exactly what it's going to look like. So they have to be ready. And of course, our team. The MTE team always distinguishes itself, so I'm very proud of them. We have brought home awards, many awards. We
awesome.
The most awards of any utility the last few years. So now we're on home turf. We got the home court advantage of this one. So I know they will do very well. But, all those poles are out there on Williamson Family Farm. And so we'll have utilities from all over the Tennessee Valley and some from outside the Tennessee Valley who will bring their teams and their individual linemen here to participate in this competition. It's free to the public. Anybody can come and watch. There's a kid zone, so kids can come and have some fun, learn some stuff. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And this is, if I've got my dates right, May the 30th and 31st.
Yeah, that's what I thought from filming this, right?
Yes, that's right. Gotcha. Next Friday and Saturday, and it will start with there are 3 different categories of competition. There are apprentice linemen. These are typically younger linemen who are learning the trade. Okay. And so apprentice linemen have a competition. There's a competition for journeyman linemen. Those are fully qualified linemen. Yeah. And then there are teams competitions where there are teams of 4 linemen typically that are doing these various exercises up high, and they're climbing. Some of them are climbing. They're climbing pole exercises. Who can do it the fastest, safest. One important aspect of that is that to get a good score, you have to be clean. In other words, you can't make a mistake.
Gotcha.
So speed is important, but safety is even more important. So you've got to do it well, and ideally you do it quickly.
Yeah. Well, I know when we were out there before with Chase and Keith, he was telling me about the one where, like, one of your guys set a record or something for, and I can't remember what he called it, but it's the one where, God forbid, something happens and a guy gets shocked or something and he's hanging up there.
Yeah.
And you got to go up, get him, come down and resuscitate him or something.
Yeah, it's called the Hurt Man.
The Hurt Man?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so you have, there's actually a dummy up on the pole mimicking someone who's up there that's hurt. And so you have to free climb the pole. Ooh. And then you have to release and capture the hurt man, lower him down safely, and then you descend the pole. Yeah. And you do that as quickly as you can, but you have to be safe and perfect in your execution.
Yeah. Well, when Chase brought it up first time, it didn't quite hit, and then I realized, I was like, wait a sec, and I literally timed it out because he said a guy set a record or whatever at 52 seconds. I'm like, to climb the pole, get the guy off there, down safely, come down, and then get him safe. Yeah. In 52 seconds isn't. I mean, in seconds you're looking at life or death possibly. But I was like, 52 seconds. That is fast.
It is phenomenal. Yes.
So yeah, you got a heck of a team.
We do. I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, I know. Chase was showing me little clips on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, this is them going up the pole," and I was like, "Good God, it looks like a squirrel."
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, you guys are quick." So I'll take the boom lift. Just take me the lift, thank you. Yeah,
me too.
I know. He's like, let's get you up there. I said, no, I'm good. I'll watch. That's awesome. So we got the Lineman Rodeo, and then so that's next weekend. Okay, and then you guys, I just want to bring attention to, you guys are so involved in the community through different events. I mean, everything from like food truck events to helping out at Hop Springs with events they have going on out there with nonprofits and fundraisers and this and that. I mean, like, how many programs do you keep track of them? Because
we do keep track. I don't know the number, but you're right, and I'm glad you see that because this speaks to the purpose, the overall purpose of Middle Tennessee Electric, and it's more than just about delivering electricity. Yeah. And this may be a point of confusion or for some a point of question. That some may say, well, you just deliver me your electricity and don't do all the frills. And some people might have that perspective. But something that's very important to us is our purpose, and that is that we exist to make life for those we serve better. Yeah. And so that extends through and from the standpoint of the cooperative business model. There are principles that are attached to the co-op business model. And one of those important principles is about commitment to community. Yeah. And so for us, we view ourselves as fundamentally, we deliver electricity affordably, reliably, safely to our members, but we exist to benefit the community. Yeah. We want to be an agent for good in the community. So we do try to involve ourselves in activities and events and organizations that are making a difference for our community. Yeah. And so that can go from individuals making choices, John, and we encourage people to, be involved in local clubs or local government or volunteer activities on the individual level. Every employee of Middle Tennessee Electric has 2 days a year. They're paid to do community service work.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. But also as an organization.
No, I'm sorry, we didn't know that either. That's very cool. Okay.
But then as an organization, we want to have we want to have our name attached to so that our members can see that we are living out that purpose of wanting to make life better for those we serve. So we want to be involved in an agent for good in our community.
That's fantastic. I love that. So, and I know there's an event coming up. I think, are you playing in it? The softball game?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they would allow me to play softball.
Oh, okay. There's a quote celebrity softball game coming up that I'm actually playing in as well. But it's for indoor athletics.
Oh yeah.
And I was looking through it, and the first name that popped up was Middle Tennessee Electric.
Yeah.
I was like, well, Endure Athletics, for those that don't know, is a very powerful organization, I feel, here locally. It helps kids through sports and things, and we're doing this softball tournament to help raise money for it. And the first ones that were on there were you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cool, and that's in 2 weeks, I think it is. But just another one that you guys helping out, and with Endure Athletics and what they do, you guys are just helping out kids.
Fantastic,
it's a wonderful thing. So,
and there's so many great organizations in our community.
Gosh, I know.
You know as well as anybody, or better than anybody, because you're so kind enough to bring attention to them. But yes, it's there's so much good that can be done out there, and we want to be. Just want to be part of it.
That's awesome. I love that. So, see, you guys, it almost feels like you guys are like living the dream. Like, everybody loves you guys, and that's very apparent because when we make a post about you guys, everybody loves you. Like, even when we're at Toots or something, like for lunch, and I see a bunch of the guys, well, I'll go talk to them, take a picture, post it, and everybody's, oh, hey, there's so and so. Hey, I love that guy. He's my neighbor or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's very happy with you guys. These events, these meaningful events that help kids and raise money and all this stuff, you guys are a part of. Oh, the thing you do for teachers on Friday, which I'm going out to tomorrow, the electric griddle.
Cheese,
Tell them let's talk about that real fast. That's
that is Jay Sanders. I'll call out another name. This was his idea, and we were honestly a little skeptical about the idea at first, but it's proven to be a genius idea, I think, and I appreciate Jay for thinking about it. But so we do grilled cheese at MTE.
I love it, though. It's so cool.
And Jay came up with his own recipe, and it's really good. But we try to bring that truck and do grilled cheese for particular events. You were at Earth Day, so that's a community event. But we'll go to different schools and just have a treat for the teachers every once in a while, and that's wonderful. So it's just another extension of that purpose and kind of the ministry, if you will, of Middle Tennessee Electric to be an agent for good. So and we hope people come by and also ask us questions because I appreciate you saying that, John, because we want everybody to love us, but not everybody does love us. And if you don't, we want you. We want to fix it, right? So help us and do. We want to be easy to do business with, and we want to be innovative and do good things. So if you see where we can be better, or you think we should be better, we want to hear about it.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so people can probably contact through either website or is that the easiest way?
Yeah, we're easy to contact. You can come by, you can call, you can contact us through the website. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've actually I've done a couple of videos in your lobby before, just talking about different things, and thank you again, Larry, over there for helping out with that. But as we're filming, like people are walking in and talking about their bill or whatever the case may be, but everybody behind the counter is like, "Oh yes, sir, no problem. Here, let's go through it together. Let's take a walk through." And I remember one specific little old man walked in, and he's like, "I just have a question about my bill," and such and such. And the lady was so nice to him. It was like, "Yeah, let's go through it step by step. Let's look at it." And she broke it down. He goes, "Okay, I just wanted to make sure everything was good," and he walked out and he was happy.
That's what we want.
Very cool. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, but awesome. So, but I know you're on a time schedule. I thank you, but I want to bring up one more thing. If you
please, I'm good. I'm good.
You recently went up to, what was it, the Congress? And
I did. Yes.
Did.
It was a hearing of the House Homeland Security Committee.
Yeah.
So, and that's a committee that's chaired by Representative Mark Green, one of our Middle Tennessee. It covers part of Middle Tennessee. For us, Williamson County.
Okay.
And he is the chair of that committee. And they were doing hearings on the subject of cybersecurity. And more particularly, the subject that I was asked to come and testify about was the subject of cybersecurity workforce issues. And so I was asked to come and speak on behalf of electric cooperatives nationally. So everybody probably knows what cybersecurity generally is. It's something that we're concerned about. We want to protect against intruders, bad actors who are trying to infiltrate our systems, and there are a number of them out there. We hear stories every too regularly of some organization that's been hacked or ransomed or something like that. So it's something of great concern. And one of the concern areas that this committee is pointing to is that we don't have enough workers in this space. We don't have enough people that are being trained to come up to work in this space either.
Gotcha.
So the talent pool is not very deep. So they're bringing attention to that. So for electric co-ops, maybe for Middle Tennessee Electric, I would say we don't have the same challenges that a number of other electric co-ops out there do because we're the second largest electric co-op in the country, for one. So we have scale.
Really?
So
I
we
didn't
have
know that either.
among the 900 electric co-ops, we're the second largest.
Wow.
So we have scale, and we're right up against Nashville. So we've got access to maybe workforce availability that others don't have. For example, we have 350,000 members.
Yeah.
You're a 1,000 member co-op in Wyoming, in rural Wyoming. And you need somebody to run your cybersecurity shop that you can trust that's a pro. Well, attracting that person in that situation may not be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and again, there are 900 co-ops out there. So I was speaking generally on behalf of electric co-ops about this issue. And so it was an honor to do it. It was it was an interesting experience, somewhat surreal because a lot of politics, a lot of gamesmanship up there, and there was quite a bit of that during that hearing. So, but it was an honor to do that.
Now, I'm just curious. This is probably far fetched, but like cybersecurity with a power company.
Yeah.
What would somebody want to try and get from I'm thinking this is way out there, but like you ever see the Die Hard 4 movie, Live Free or Die Hard, when they hack the power grid and it's all about stealing social security numbers and all that others. Is it like the movies? Is that what they're trying to go for? Or what is that?
I saw the first Die Hard. I didn't know there was a fourth one.
There's like 6 now or something. First one's the best one.
Interesting. But no, more typically, the infiltration is done to because they want money. You're trying to you're accessing systems and they have control of it, and to give up control you have to pay a ransom.
Got it. Yeah.
So now again, the actors can vary. They can be domestic. They can be more often than not foreign. So what could happen? I mean, I don't want to speculate too much because it's a bit scary, and I don't want to say too much in public of what could happen and what the motivations might be.
Yeah.
The main thing we have to do is to be absolutely vigilant in all the things we're doing. So again, we do this, not me, to comfort the viewers. We have experts that are doing this. They do it every day, all day. And we have to continually bolster our efforts because the attacks are becoming more and more sophisticated. Yeah. And so, and then you layer artificial intelligence on top of this. Yeah. So AI will be used by the bad actors in attempts to disrupt. We have to leverage AI to defend against those kinds of intrusions. So it is a constant. One thing I said during that hearing was that historically, what kept electric co-op managers up at night is the concern for the safety of their employees. We have a dangerous, our linemen especially, it's a dangerous profession.
I got you.
And so if there's something that keeps you up at night is thinking about, I hope, we want to be as safe as we can, so you think about that. Well, we have a second thing that keeps us up at night now, and it's cybersecurity.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it really is, because you can never there's a feeling you can never do enough. And are you doing enough? And so we want to, balance out the investments we're making there and the things we're doing with affordability and those things. So you always worry just a bit about if what you're doing is sufficient. And I'm thankful for the team we have in place that's doing that work.
Oh, yeah, totally. And actually, I'll go off what you said, kind of switching a little bit, but the AI things like what you guys are using, I know when we came in and I thought it was very awesome to get that tour of the command center, I called it, But I know Larry was telling us off camera, like now you guys have things that, like, if a power outage happens or something, that within like a millisecond almost that it happens, and how things start to reroute and power. I mean, like, it's incredibly sophisticated.
Yes.
And so, like, it almost sounds like, are you working towards like a self-sustaining?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like a smart grid. So
smart grid. Thank you.
And something that plays into that, and to give maybe our members even more confidence in the investments we're making in United, is that fiber makes that happen. Fiber optic network makes that happen. So,
See,
so the
the
fiber,
marriage,
they're right.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
the fiber has a dual benefit for the members. Yeah, we're delivering high speed internet broadband services, which is awesome, but also we're leveraging that fiber for the benefit of our electric system.
Yeah.
And that allows us to, with the addition of other components and pieces of technology as well, to build and further build a smart grid.
Yeah.
So, yes, so we know about outages before they happen, and ultimately so that the system itself can repair outages before we even send guys out there. Now, again, we got to get the line off the tree off the line.
Yeah.
But we can isolate it automatically, and we have some ability to do that now.
Yeah.
As we continue to build that out, we'll have more and more ability to isolate, so we can instantaneously, as many as can, perform restoration.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was so cool when we were doing that because I know like Larry, he had pointed something out on the screen, and it was like in real time of your 350,000 plus members, you had like 5 people that it said outage or something over the whole thing. And then you literally in real time watched the number just drop. And he's like, that's the system doing its thing. And I was like, that's so freaking cool. Like the fact, and you guys in there monitoring it and doing their thing. But I was like, the fact, like, just makes you feel real secure in your power. So
Well, I hope so. And we're trying to build, I mean, honestly, the most advanced electric system in the world for
killer.
the benefit of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and our members. So, yeah.
So see, we got most advanced power system in the world, powered with some insanely fast internet. That's just a win-win.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. I love what you guys are doing, and thank you for sharing all this stuff with us. But I want to be cognizant of your time. I know you're a busy, busy man, so thank you for coming on here.
I'm happy to be here and happy to come back. And we maybe next time I come back, we can talk more about TVA, because that is an issue that
Yes.
I know that a lot of people are asking us questions about.
Definitely.
TVA has existed for more than 90 years to generate and transmit the power to us. And because of the growth of our area, they're constrained.
Yeah, okay.
So we'd love to talk about that and nuclear power maybe the next time I come back. And
I would love that one. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. You want to announce a part 2 coming?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
whenever
cool.
you
All right,
want.
so
to do
y'all
it.
stay tuned for that, because that was one area I wanted to touch on. But like I said, I want to be cognizant of your time. So thank you very much. But all right, we'll do part 2.
Let's
love
do it.
that. All right, cool. So, but before we close out, is there anything you want to throw out there, or how can people, if anybody wants to contact you, the website, all that sort of stuff? How can they do that?
I mean, I hope we try to be easy to contact.
Yeah.
So information's on the website. Phone numbers. So don't hesitate to reach out if we can be of service. I say that sincerely. We want to be the best we can be for our community. So again, look at those free services that are there. So often people just don't realize what's available to them through their electric co-op. So look at our website, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Definitely. And it's mte.org. Com. Oh, sharingchange.org. That's what I was thinking of. So mte.com. Okay. Gotcha. And just one more thing going on what you said, that you really want to be there for the community, different things. Both you guys, Larry over there off camera, and you're like, the Halloween thing, for example. I just want, we did that big Halloween event, and you and I were talking about things, and then I turned around at the event with 7,000 people there, whatever. You come walking over and you're like, hey, how can I help? I was like, oh, hi, Chris. How you doing? And so you're like, cool, let's hand out some candy. I was like, the CEO of MTE's right here.
It was great.
And he's just handing out candy. All right, cool.
I loved it.
And then we were at some other events, and then I walked around the corner and Larry walked out. And I was like, oh, all right, hey guys. And so you are really active. Like you're not, you walk the walk. I really like that. So very cool.
Thanks, John.
Anyways, we'll put all your information up in the description if anybody wants that, and we're coming back for round 2. We'll do that TVA talk. So, but anyways, other than that, everybody who's watching, we appreciate you tuning in as always, and we'll see you all in the next one.